Good afternoon and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 230 of 2025, and I'm continuing the story of Grab All, Lose All. Now, the constable, the strong men, and the loan shark, the strong men of the loan shark, they all had arrived at the farmer's house as he and his wife were celebrating Krishna's birthday. Now, those men could have cared less. They barged into the whole festivity and put an end to it immediately and threatened the farmer with leading him off to jail for stealing jewels. The farmer then realized that his only avenue was to confess the entire story. Well, not confess, but to tell the entire story in hopes that, well, they would set him free and believe the story is true, since it was. But the constable really wasn't buying it. The farmer said, yes, it's true. The tree landed, and I was afraid to get out of the branches, but I reached down into the sand and picked up these sparkling gems, not knowing exactly what they were. But once I saw what they were, I wrapped them in my turban and climbed back onto the tree, hoping that it would return to its place there on the riverbank, which suddenly began to shake, and it rose up again, and across the countryside it went. It landed, and I took those jewels in, and I sold them in order to pay off the debt that I had with you, dear sir, he said, looking at the loan shark. Well, the constable, he really didn't have any proof of the farmer stealing anything. So he took the loan shark by the arm. They went outside for a second. They talked. He said, we've heard some pretty crazy stories, and some pretty crazy things have happened. Now, who knows whether he's telling the truth or not. But if he is, maybe we should get in on this. Why don't we give him 1 month to prove that this is true? Or else to the jail he goes. I say tomorrow night we find ourselves at that tree to see if indeed it is true. The loan shark agreed, and so they went back in. They presented this proposal to the farmer. The farmer, he said, fine, sure. Come tomorrow night and we'll go to the tree and wait in its branches and see. It happened right at midnight. So it was agreed upon, and the next night, the constable, the two strong men, the loan shark, made their way to the farmer's house. Now, the wife was not at all happy with what was going on. Of course, she was worried about her husband. But what was to be done? The men, with the lantern, went off to the river, to the tree, climbed up into its branches, and waited.